Welcome, acolytes. Today I am reacting to Ref. Sweet Baby CEO creates new harassment campaign. Because of course. Of course, because why not? Why wouldn't you? You are morally superior to everyone. So a harassment campaign against someone, that's just a thing you have to do. Oh, good, acolytes, let's just start. This is just getting even more disgusting by the day. And yet the companies that work with them are also disgusting, including City Project Red, you Witcher 4 freaks.
Here. So today we're going to be talking about some more Sweet Baby Inc. related drama. Yes,
Good.
it must be a day that ends in Y because we have another controversy that is facing this woke consulting firm.
Yeah, by the way, I mean, I would be happy on your place, Ref, because it's content. It's free fucking content for you and me.
We're going to be looking at several things involving Sweet Baby Inc. today. We're going to be looking at some issues with their website where some people are asking, is this a harmless error or is there some trouble ahead for the company? On top of that, it appears that the CEO of the company, Kim Belair, has teamed up with a...
I think because, yeah, I would actually quite appreciate it if Ref would show the company every time that this is the companies that actually work with them, just so you can see, okay, so you can bind the companies to Sweet Baby Inc. So the companies actually start removing them. I'm gonna do it today. Okay, fine. I didn't find a comprehensive list for this, but you can see DI detected. This is the official site of the Steam group. I'm gonna just post the official site of this. Gonna get the link, and you have here the publishers, developers, and such, and DI consults. Okay, good. Diversity. Okay, there are way more consults than I expected, but here it is. I didn't find a list, but you can watch it yourself, and definitively, like, some companies or publishers, developers, publishers that are in it: Epic Game, Electro, AAP, I don't know what that is, A Little Smarter. Where are the big names? Nintendo, of course. Nintendo. Who else? Ubisoft. Yeah, good, fair enough. So yeah, it just okay.
A journalist who make a hit piece trying to once again make Sweet Baby the victim of a supposed harassment campaign, and also we'll see them supporting the narrative or the idea
Of course.
that people who criticize Sweet Baby should be removed off of social media.
Good, I agree with him. And by the way, for every single one that argued with me that being a victim isn't profitable, look up Sweet Baby Inc. That's, or anyone that actually plays victim. And I'm normally women. If you don't believe me, just look at it. Watch anyone anywhere that has that actually comes around this group. You will see.
So let's get into this. The first story here is involving a potential shutdown of their website. So it's gone offline, and a lot of people are, debating whether
Good.
this is a permanent shutdown or just a glitch. Now,
Well, acolytes, you know what I hope for.
as reported by That Park Place here, there was a brief moment about 2 days ago where the website was down, and that was confirmed by Is It Down Right Now, that website that tracks that sort of thing. And yeah, it seemed like
They're right there. And one star is too much, by the way.
there was a 408 request timeout error, which again could be harmless, or it could be signs of them actually trying to shut down their site. But knowing everything with Sweet Baby, they have had some very suspicious behavior on their website, shutting things down to remove things like client lists and the projects they've worked on, typically to protect themselves and the parties they work with from being discovered. And also, as you can see, it was reported that yes, it was down for basically all of the 19th, but it would come back on the 20th. However, as of recording right now on the 21st, if you go to sweetbabyinc.com, once again, you can see nothing's happening. So it begs the question, is this actually some ongoing error for the past 2 or 3 days? Or is there something going on with Sweet Baby? We'll have to wait and see. But what we do know right now is that there is a very bizarre article that's getting a lot of attention right now from Game Developer. So we talked about this briefly on the alt channel, but I really want to get into this because the article itself is quite insane. And by the way, also thank you to all the support on the alt channel. We just broke 100K subs on there. So yeah, I'll put a link to it in the chat.
Damn. Good gate set. Good job. Happy for you. Honestly, I might not sound like it, but if I see that a force of good or a force of actually doing something positive in the world breaks some targets or does things good or something goes good for them, I am actually happy. Really, really happy, even if it doesn't sound like it. But I am happy.
Description if you want to check it out. But anyways, let's get back to the story. Here's the headline. When Sweet Baby Inc. was targeted for their advocacy efforts earlier this year, a Discord server and a Steam community group played a role in their harassment. We ask, do Valve and Discord consider this within their terms of service? I mean, what month is it? Like, why are we talking about this Sweet Baby Inc. harassment campaign that was really only relevant back in March, and now we're talking about it in late December? It's very bizarre, but you'll see pretty quickly they got hit with a community note, the best feature on Twitter hands down, basically disputing everything they're saying and also providing a bunch of links. They literally did.
Yeah. The name Lego Bots. Yeah. And yes, it's good. This is the best feature Twitter has. This is the best effing thing. Everything should have that.
Did more research than the journalist who made this article, but you can see based on the fact that there's 600 likes and nearly 1,500 comments, people are roasting the hell out of this article. Now, before we get into it, who made this article? Well, we'll see right here that this is the individual, Brian Francis, who suspiciously has changed these links. He wanted to go to the links here for his Twitter or his LinkedIn. They're both just leading you to a generic twitter.com link. So I guess they're trying to hide this because of the backlash they're getting for the article. But of course, it's not very hard to find. And of course, just like everyone else in the industry, their account is private. And another guarantee with journalists, pronouns in bio. Okay, you just expect at this point. And looking.
Yeah, and as I said once, this is just a bad sign. And I actually, after I said it the first time, I watched my followers, what they are up to. And there are some that have those pronunciations in their stuff, and they seem to be normal people. I am actually quite surprised about it. So maybe there is a correction on my part that a small amount of people are actually quite normal. But still, it's a red flag. And everyone who actually listens to me, Acolyte's one of you. If you have that she, her, him, his, it thing in your bio, it could come as a negative for you. It's your decision if you're gonna let it in or not, but I would say please get it out, because right now the pendulum swings back, and this could be actually a thing that impacts you as a person negatively. So this is just a case of actually worrying for you, Acolytes, than anything else. I don't want to make fun of you. I don't want to be harassing you. I just want you to know that a small thing like that could make you look way worse in the future. So please think about it.
Through his resume here, he has all these projects that he's very proud of, including one, ways to inclusively design fat characters in games. How wholesome Chungus. Yeah. But anyways, let's get to the article finally. So they beg the question, why are Valve and Discord permitting harassment against Sweet Baby Inc.? Well, let's get down here. Narrative consulting group Sweet Baby Inc. has become the target of an online harassment campaign for its consulting work on games like Alan Wake 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I find it very funny that they list these three games as like a flex to show like proof of concept for Sweet Baby, but Alan Wake 2 is a commercial failure.
Yeah, it was. It was a commercial failure, but from what I heard, it was an okay game. So there's that. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. Well, I think it reflects his person.
At this point, they haven't even sold enough units to break even. And that's to pay EA back for the money they got from them. So they literally have not made a single dollar, despite selling close to 2 million units for that game. It's clearly a big financial disaster for Red.
Really? Really? That's actually funny. It's damn. I know it's hard to find your way alone, but don't get this much money from companies.
Remedy
Okay.
Games. And on top of that, we know Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, an absolute failure. It's literally going to be shutting down its live service aspect. And yeah, but let's continue on. Why? The answer is frustratingly hard to put down into words. Users on websites like Twitter and Kiwi Farms, a site known for organizing sometimes violent harassment campaigns operating under the name
Bollocks.
Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, have singled out the agency for allegedly having overarching influence on these games, and it accused it of forcibly injecting a political agenda into them by advocating for diversity.
I don't hear a lie there. Do you? I don't. So, yeah.
Well, that is a political agenda, by the way, and that's exactly what they did, including like race swapping characters and things like that.
Yep.
We all know the backstory of Sweet Baby Inc., but this is a very bizarre description of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. They're talking about Twitter and Kiwi Farms. Like, it was a Steam curation group. This is the scary profile, by the way. This is the scary Steam group that has so many jimmies rustled and people writing articles about it literally months and months after it first popped up and grew in popularity. But anyways, this miscategorization of who's doing...
I mean, Kiwi Farms has a negative aspect to it, like a gigantic. It's basically, from what I heard, and for myself, a site where a lot of harassers, like people that are really, 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 really bad faith, are in there, and they have more fun harassing people than anything else. So if you compare the Sweet Baby being detected to those harassers, then you actually can, as I said, victim. You are the victim then. But if you compare it to a site like Sweet Baby being detected on Steam, then people who actually watch in will say, oh, wait, those are normal dudes. They are just doing it to show where Sweet Baby Inc. worked with. So, and they will probably change their mind. So, yeah.
Doing this has always been a theme for Kim Belair, especially. She's tried to act like it's a bunch of people on 4chan and other websites, but at the end of the day, I think there's just a collective of people who don't like Sweet Baby and used services like Sweet Baby and Detected. But let's continue on. Well, the studio's contributions happen mostly on micro level, contributing story feedback, helping workshop narrative beats, and writing.
That's irrelevant. That's totally irrelevant. It's done. If you make the game or the character in any kind of way worse, I don't care if it's a micro level or a freaking giant 90% level. You make the character or the game worse. Fuck you for that.
Writing flavor text and barks with the lens of inclusivity in mind. Yes, so there's your agenda. You're not just providing narrative consulting. Everything is done with inclusivity in mind. And yeah, turns out people don't really like that. They find it really annoying and a bunch of virtue signaling.
I would say, Rev, I would explain it a bit differently. I would say their inclusivity is exclusivity for certain races. It's simple. Their inclusivity isn't inclusivity. The best inclusivity you can have is if you just say, I don't give a fuck about the person. I mean, I don't give a fuck about basically anyone except for the people that I personally like or know, for the most part. And simple, I hate everyone. So you're all equal to me. Okay, not everyone. You know how I mean it. It's just, it's simply, if I don't know you, I don't care about you. Simple as that. And that's way more inclusive than Sweet Baby Inc. and less racist.
Anyways, it says their work has been reframed as shoehorning black or LGBTQ characters into games for which they are not originally designed. Yeah, it happened. It literally happened with God of War, as well as at least a few other titles where they race swap characters for absolutely no reason. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. They randomly race swapped Deadshot's daughter for no reason at all. Like, yeah, they are doing these things that they're being accused of by these people who just observe what's happening in front of them.
Yeah.
To continue on, it's a grim conspiracy theory built on out-of-context comments and a deliberate misreading of their mission statement, as well as racism, homophobia, and other layers of bigotry. Of course, they go down that route, saying this is all because of les bigots. Well, let's...
Yes. So...
remind ourselves how this all happened in the first place, right? So we begin with Chris Kindred sweep.
And by the way, I'm just saying, if you're a redhead person, a white person, or an Asian person, you get targeted by them. They won't swap anything else. Mainly those three groups. So, can you tell me why? No? Yeah.
Baby Inc. employee. Not a single article written by these woke journalists have ever acknowledged how the whole backlash against Sweet Baby escalated to levels that went viral. It was because in March, or actually late February, he made a post calling out Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and not only told people to falsely report the Steam group, but also to report the personal account of Cabrutus, the man who started Sweet Baby Inc. Detected.
So to harass him.
Then when we're talking about racism and all these things, we have individuals like this Lego Butts person who is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee who has said all these things virtue signaling about racism here, saying people are spreading misinformation back in February and they're just allowed to be racist in public. But people like Lego Butts here got criticism because they themselves are extremely racist while crying racism and bigotry when they're being criticized by people like users of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. So here's some of the tweets.
Not just users of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, normal everyday people.
Had a nightmare that I was a white gamer. One of many tweets they made disparaging white people. Then you have this. I'm not going to read this. You can read it for yourself. It's actually kind of amazing that this tweet is still up, by the way. It's been used and heavily used for criticism against Sweet Baby, but they still haven't taken this tweet down, and neither have they taken down this one, which you literally have to hit a filter option to show you because this has been labeled as violent speech. Okay, that's why people were going after people like Lego Butts and also really just swiping their hand away at any claims of racism in the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected group, because really the true racists here are the ones that working at Sweet Baby. But anyways, let's continue on with the article. In an interview with game developer Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Belair said the harassment they've been experiencing started bubbling in October of 2023 around the release of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake 2, with the worst hate coming from users on 4chan, Kiwi Farms, and Twitter. Again, just see the way that they're writing this, and they continue in the last few weeks. Why are they writing this article with present tense? This is all happening back in October of 2023 and in February, March of this year, but they're
victim points.
Writing like it literally just happened. Like, are they copying and pasting sections from previously made articles from back earlier this year? Like, that's really the only explanation I can think of. But anyways, they go on. Despite that increased spike, Valve and Discord have allowed the curation page and server to remain online. Posts from the group's moderators indicate the companies have warned them that content on their platforms may result in their being removed, forcing them to take some additional moderation steps, but still leaving them online. Why? Both platforms have made it clear they don't want to be used as vectors for harassment, but slippery language in their terms of service have enabled bad actors to turn their platforms from ones where developers can do business to ones where developers can be targeted for abuse.
I would even be against it if it didn't hit Sweet Baby Inc. because I'm not for harassing, but if you have just absolute not freaks, absolute damn bullshitters, racists, and bigots like Sweet Baby Inc. employees. Yeah, sorry, it just doesn't hit anyone innocent here. I wouldn't do shit either. I'm gonna be honest. Like, at some point, if you throw your if you go in the ring, you know you're gonna get hit. And if you're in the ring and getting hit, and then crying, I'm getting hit. Yeah, sorry. No, I'm not sorry about you. I'm gonna effing laugh at you. You knew what you're getting yourself into. So own it, bitch.
That hole needs to be closed fast. Again, they seem like they are very much in the belief that there's some sort of a loophole. Like, what are they exactly getting away with on this website that has these journalists and Kim Belair so upset? And if you keep looking through the article, right, they talk at some points about how they had to basically protect themselves. Okay, they had to go through and start deleting some tweets. So the corresponding Discord server has undergone a similar but not all-encompassing purge. Initially, rants about Sweet Baby Inc. and its work were accompanied by a bevy of slurs, hate speech, and broader far-right conspiracy about wokeism and diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, of course. Again, criticizing anything that's woke, I guess, gets you labeled as a far-right conspiracy theorist. And
just fart in that direction, you're already racist.
that really gives you an idea of the type of person that we're dealing with when you're, reading their words in this article. It's obviously this is just designed as a hit piece to go after people who are ideologically opposed to them. But they continue on. Sometime on Sunday, March 10th, the Discord server's moderators were informed that content on their channel risked violating platform's terms of service and that they needed to take extra steps to prevent the group from being banned. Group members posting on social media indicated that the moderators had taken such action. So they're saying this is some sort of admission of guilt, right? They're going around and cleaning up posts that might get the Steam group in trouble. You know what? It doesn't matter how much moderation you do. If you have a sizable community, especially one like the Steam group that has about 500,000 followers, you're going to have people saying things that are going to break terms of service.
That's true, yeah.
If you have the ability to curate some stuff, you should to keep your page going. But it's impossible to prevent bad actors from doing things like that when you have a community that large. I mean, that's just the internet. Every popular anything always has some people breaking terms of service, and that doesn't reflect on the entire community or especially the creators of that group. But this author here, trying to make this point where if you're deleting posts to prevent yourself from getting in trouble or doing stuff like that, you must be hiding something really bad, right? Well, the timing of that is not very good, right? So Kim Belair recently has gone through a purge of her tweets, much like Alyssa Mercante. So in her lawsuit with Smash JT, there's a lot of tweets that are relevant to the case, and it appears that Alyssa has been deleting a lot of those tweets, which might get her and her lawyers sanctioned. But the interesting thing is it wasn't just Alyssa Mercante deleting tweets. It was also a lot of people in the industry, including Kim Belair, who on the same day as Alyssa's deletion spree started, she also started deleting a mass number of tweets, adding up to around 300 in the past 30 days. So is she also hiding something according to the logic of this journalist? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But there's definitely something very suspicious going on with Kim Belair and really all of these people in the industry who are just doing mass tweet deletion sprees. It's very weird.
And also the following thing also gets smaller. 474 and 471. So maybe there's also something.
But anyways, let's continue on. Moderating speech is challenging. Moderating harassment be hard. I think I just had a stroke trying to read that. Anyways, Belair admitted she isn't entirely sure how Valve or Discord should remedy the situation. She and her colleagues at Sweet Baby Inc. aren't experts in online moderation. They're writers. Their job is to create fictional problems in video games, not solve real ones. what? Are you saying they're like incompetent? Like they can't figure out real life issues? What do you mean? I think they were trying to be like clever and like funny with this, but like you make them sound like morons. Like they can't solve real life problems. They can only solve fictional problems in games. Like I don't know. That's just weird. But anyways, it says Kim Belair urged Valve and Discord to recognize that harassment campaigns are continuously evolving and that communication platforms need to keep pace with how they're being used to spread hate. It's clear that some kind of evolution is needed because this will only get bigger, and I don't mean for us, she said. If this playbook can work as well now as it did 10 years ago with Gamergate, it's going to keep working in certain ways, and they will find something bigger and worse to do with this. So, what are they saying that's so novel about Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, or DEI Detected, or any of those sorts of services? They are the most basic thing ever. They are looking at publicly available information and saying, yep, here's these games that Sweet Baby listed on their website. Consider that when you're choosing whether or not to support that game. That's it. People don't like Sweet Baby. They don't want products they worked on. And this service provides that information of what they've worked on. That's it. That is not a novel thing that the internet basically and the broader world needs to start adapting for. It's just providing information to people. And of course, we just know the whole story. Sweet Baby and Kim Belair, they are professional victims. They love to play the victim.
Correct.
And here they are teaming up with game developer, helping this article get created, running with this narrative that they did nothing wrong, that they're the innocent victims of a alt-right harassment campaign going across every website they could possibly think of, when in reality, they just got called out because people don't like what they do in the industry, and also their own employees are the true harassers, the true racists, the people who are saying really out-of-pocket stuff. They are quite literally the demonized version of people in the industry or gamers that Sweet Baby Inc. is always projecting about. But anyways, that's the latest update involving...
Ref, thank you again. You're a freaking legend. Damn. But Sweet Baby Inc., yeah, as always. Same thing, that's an update. I like it. Something to laugh at again. But as it is, acolytes, good night.